Yeah, for now we're just gonna see one ban. It is round number 1, and we see the mercenary.
Yep.
We are playing on Sacred Heart Hospital for the first round, and mercenary being a really good ban. Mercenary can be an absolute pain for the hunter right here, so banning the mercenary is a pretty good choice. And the team that we are seeing on the survivor side seems to be a prisoner, a dancer, a priestess, and the wildling. No seer to my surprise. Yet again, no seer to my surprise, even if he's not even banned.
And this is going to be on Sacred Heart Hospital. Again, we talked about this in the beginning, Grizzly. We said, listen, mercenary. We're seeing a lot more hunters banning that mercenary first, not always banning the seer anymore. And a lot of hunters who ban the mercenary are the hunters that are really good at the anti-rescue. Think of violinist. I want you to think of feaster. I want you to think of bonbon. So the question is are we going to see one of them? Because a lot of those hunters have better anti-rescue potential to a degree than some of the other hunters. So we'll see how this is going to work out in the favor of the hunter. And like I said, this is a popular strategy that's being utilized more and more. And no mechanic bans as of now. I have a feeling that once we start progressing through the bracket, we're going to see a lot of that flexibility in regards to which survivors are going to be banned, especially next weekend when we start hitting the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, where we're going to see the best of the best on the server really duke it out. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of the tournament, and I really applaud all of these survivors and these teams who have decided to put their gameplay in front of everyone. One of the questions that I did see that got asked, if I may explain it real quickly, Grizzly, is a lot of people are asking, what about the other teams? The other teams right now are probably duking it out privately, and they have to submit their data as well as the battle record to the developers and the organizers of the tournament. And so a lot of them are competing as well. We just don't have enough time to show everybody's gameplay. And again, these teams are the ones that allowed themselves to be chosen, and Blood Queen has been selected. I'm sorry about that, Grizzly. I went on a little rant there.
No, you know what? You keep going. You're gonna talk about the layout right now. Bloody Queen was banned. So what are we seeing right here?
Yep, so with this spawn, we're looking at group number 4. So it's popular exactly where this Blood Queen is going. There's 2 survivors that sometimes merge on each other, and this is what's happening, is that they're running directly towards her. However, we see a wildling has the ability to run over there, and we see the priestess running towards what we refer to as 2 pallets, since the 2 pallets is over there.
Good job from the Bloody Queen, not going for the Wildling. Wildling can be not the best find for early game. Trying to hit, and first hit on the Priestess, trying to hit the Priestess. She was able to avoid the mirror image, but was not getting away right here from the real hunter, the real deal. Now she is switching over to the prisoner, who can put a lot of decoding on this map. Going in for the mirror image.
And that's a good strategy from the Blood Queen. Blood Queen don't really want to feel like wasting a whole bunch of time. She doesn't want to waste time on a priestess that's in the strongest area of the map using those portals. They have a wildling. They're going to have slow decoding. This gives her a lot of flexibility to transition out and start to focus on the prisoner.
All right, there comes the short stun, but still allowing the hit right there. Good job from the Bloody Queen, as you already said, concentrating on one of the decoders in this team, bring down the prisoner. We have the wildling over there coming in for a rescue, trying to push away the hunter, taking the hit, rescuing, and we have Tide Turner. This will give the team an additional 20 seconds, even if the Bloody Queen hits the survivor. She's really concentrating on that hit, really wants to get the prisoner, and we can see that there is, just have to say, there is a little bit lag going on, or the wildling was just extremely slow. I don't think so.
Yeah, and right there, the best thing that was probably a good strategy would be to get out of there once somebody's Tide Turner activates. But Blood Queen was able to really maintain pressure on both of them. That's a very difficult area. That's one of the most dangerous parts of the entire game. Not even this map. That area is very difficult. Beautiful blink from the Bloody Queen.
Really, really good job, and also leaving the Wildling on the ground, just, you know, getting the double down, and now also bringing down the female dancer. Wildling is up again, though, rescuing the prisoner. Oh, the prisoner's right there, you're right. Ooh, that means the prisoner will be sent out in a few seconds. There we go, first survivor eliminated. We have the female dancer on the chair. They are healing up over there. Yeah, they are healing up the Wildling. Wildling and Priestess are now inside of the hunter. She's going for the priestess again right there. Okay.
Let's see where she's going to transfer out. Priestess knows that is a strong area of the map, and that's where she's going to relocate. One of the consequences of choosing that Wildling is that slow decoding speed, and what they really need to do now somehow is get down to 3 ciphers. If I was this team, what I'd probably try to focus on is trying to get 1 person out, but that's going to be really difficult.
Yep. Yeah, Priestess was taking the hit right there. Trying to rescue the female dancer, was taking the hit. As you already said, they need to bring down 2 cipher machines to now open up at least the dungeon. We saw the Wildling, as I said earlier, he seemed to lag a little bit, and right now it felt like he was standing still, so there might be a little bit of connection issue on the Wildling side. We just have to say how it is. There's no way around it. Wildling is now trying to go in for the rescue, not making. Okay.
Yeah, right there, we don't know if he's lagging or most likely a little bit of lag. The thing is that the question is really what do they do going forward from here? Because once the lag started, 2 people were already down, so that's a interesting thing. But I don't know, they're gonna have to take a look at that. I think it's important that we call it for what it is. It really looked like that Wildling was lagging there, so it's gonna be up to everybody to really figure out what their next choice is in regards to that. But again, beautiful job from the Bloody Queen. This is what we predicted. We're gonna see more Bloody Queens being utilized. She's a very scary hunter, and remember, Grizzly, that was a position group number 4, and so when you spawn back in those ruins behind Shack, if you just there's usually 2 survivors there, and it really depends if one transitions into hospital. But that Wildling understood that I can run towards this area because most likely Bloody Queen's not going to go after me. What are your thoughts about the match?
Elimination. Now we are changing the teams. We now have the mercenary being banned again. The survivors need to. Oh wait, the hunter needs to bring down all survivors as well and send them back to the manor to make this a tie in the first round. And on the other side, the survivors only need to get 1 survivor out of there. 1 survivor is enough to actually decide the first round for themselves. Again, mercenary is banned. We now see the seer is being utilized. We see the priestess, the perfumer, and the gravekeeper right here. I'm curious to see what the hunter pick will be.
That's going to be a very, very seriously scary lineup. That's a very popular lineup. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Bloody Queen. We'll have to wait to see what the selection is. Again, this is Sacred Heart Hospital. Generally is decided that usually this is more of a survivor-sided map. Some people disagree, and that's more than welcome. I know that I don't like going against anyone on this map unless I'm playing Bloody Queen. So I would expect to see a character like Bloody Queen, but again, we don't really know what all of these hunters are specializing in. This is the beginning of the tournament. You have a lot of teams in here. We have like 42, 43 teams. A lot of the teams have various skilled survivors and hunters, various tiers as well. And that's the entire purpose of this tournament. Is it's day 1. You're going to see different skill sets with different hunters, different selection rates. And this is what we're going to see. It's actually going to be very surprising if we see any curveballs, which we already did, where we see Gamekeeper being utilized as much as what we did in that first round. But of course, that's going to make sense when you have a hunter who specializes in it. And that's one of the nice things about this tournament, is that we get to grow with these teams. As these teams advance, we get to understand what are they good at, what are their selection habits. And again, this is a very, very scary survivor comp for these for this hunter. And again, we're going to see if we're going to have a Bloody Queen being utilized on this map.
Exactly, we are still waiting, and there we can see it actually is Anne right here. That's gonna be interesting. I honestly love to see the cats, and we are jumping into this match. I would love to give over to you yet again to talk about the layout real quick.
And I did not expect that. You get the pun? It was awful. Here we go. Group 4 all over again. Same exact. I feel like you're laughing because you feel bad about me, and I welcome that.
No, absolutely not.
All right, let's see. And interesting to use those cats right away. Going to see who's going to be up there. What we saw with that Blood Queen is they immediately juke towards that right where there's 2 survivors. And where Anne is walking towards, unfortunately, there's not going to be any survivors that spawn on this aspect of the map. There's usually somebody that spawns in the front of hospital gate, somebody in hospital, and then 2 people to the side where we saw Bloody Queen. So there's nobody that spawns on this side of the map, unfortunately, unless people rotate here, which sometimes a player will rotate into this area, which is something that maybe the hunter was anticipating. But let's see what she's going to do now. She's going to release these cats, and let's see if she can bite any of them.
She's trying to utilize the skill right here, and this actually gave the survivor a lot of time, the survivor team, a lot of time to decode Cypher machines. You can see the team really communicating right there, telling each other how far they are with the Cypher machines. And she kind of lost the survivor right here, standing right at the Cypher machine as well. This is giving the survivors a huge advantage. This is giving the survivors a lot of time to actually bring down more Cypher machines. She's trying to circle around, trying to find someone who might, as you said, transition to these Cypher machines. But the survivors didn't do that. They didn't go to any of these Cypher machines. And as you can see, they're getting a lot of decoding done right here thanks to that.
Absolutely. They're down to 3 ciphers here. She did carry teleport. And one of the good things about carrying teleport that we didn't really see utilized right here, but if you do get lost and you don't know where the survivors are, you can wait for wiggling. But I'm not sure if it's my stream, but it does look like there's moments where she's really, really slow. And the question is you know, is she unfortunately lagging as well? Again, I want to keep it real. I want to keep it real with the viewers. I don't want to hide that. She's slow on my screen. And so it looks like she, like right there, right? Yeah, you see that as well. And I'm not going to hide behind anything. I'd rather call it like it is. That's what people know me for. And it seems like she's lagging pretty tremendously here.
That is a lot of lag that is going on right there, and that's not happening only once. We saw it with the wildlings, so seeing these portals being utilized as well to get away from the hunter. Good job, good portal placement. Hunter could not find the priestess could not find any of the survivors, is ignoring the portals as well, and we can see the survivors are now down to 1 Cypher machine already. They are decoding on Cypher machine. There we go. They're decoding over there together. 62%. That means that they might be able to bring down the Cypher machine quite fast. Hunter is now using the ability, trying to, you know, put pressure on the survivor side. Not getting any of these.
So you see that rotation, what this priestess is doing. She's trying to get this Anne to move away from the Cypher, and they're gonna finish that Cypher up. And then what they need to do is they really need to anticipate the hit right at the right moment. One of the strategies, depending on their build, throw the pallet down, get hit, and then pop the Cypher and then hop the pallet, and then you'll have the ability to get that double boost. And it looks like she may set that up here.
We all,
you know, sir. Yep.
No,
here
we also see the seer. We also see the seer right there, just charging up another owl, just sitting right there. Oh, nice chew. There we go. There comes the Cypher machine. Should pop right there, and everyone is rotating away from this exit gate. We see the tension is going on. I want to say this again. They need to get at least 1 survivor out of there to win the first round right here. And so far it looks pretty much like they're gonna get 1 survivor at least out of the gate, because bring down all 4 survivors end game, that's gonna be extremely difficult.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen though. These survivors are doing a really good job with their rotations, and is trying her best to get these cats going, but they're doing a decent job at being able to avoid them. This seer probably has an additional owl. Oh no, he does not have an additional owl actually. So what he's going to have to do is try to buy as much time for one of the survivors to at least get out of there. And again, Sacred Heart can be a little bit difficult for slow-moving hunters such as Anne. It can be very difficult, and that's why we usually see Bloody Queen being utilized over here. Now look at Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper's going to dig and body block.
And
so he's going to try to body block.
There's also another already. Yeah. So that's going to be
and that's good.
A 4 survivor escape.
Absolutely.
And that means another 5 points to this team right here. They are deciding the first round for themselves with 2 5-point matches. Good job. Great, great hunter. When we saw the Bloody Queen, she was really going the right routes, going for the right survivors. And we can see the same thing on the survivor side. They knew what they were doing. They were splitting up. They were decoding Cypher machines as long as they had the chance to. And Cypher Pop was happening in a good way. It's just difficult to catch up to these good survivors too.
And what you're really seeing, and I'm just going to be honest with my analysis, what you're really seeing right there is the difference between a hunter that had that good rotation versus a hunter that took a gamble on the other selected. And just like I predicted, Blood Queen is banned. Take it over, Grizzly.
Exactly, that's right. We have the Bloody Queen ban. Bloody Queen is one of the hunters that can travel far distance with her mirror really fast, and so banning her makes a lot of sense. And we just saw how Atlas is utilizing the Bloody Queen, so yeah, it was predictable. We can also see that the Seer and the Priestess are banned. Priestess most likely because she is a great character to travel fast on this map. Seer because you can just, bring a lot of kiting time to a survivor with the owl, rescuing a survivor and allowing him to basically take a hit. And on the survivor side, we can see Gravekeeper, Perfumer, Prisoner, and Mercenary being utilized. I am curious to see what the hunter pick will be this time. Bloody Queen is banned.
Large map. I wouldn't be too surprised if we have a hunter that has good map presence, and Priestess ban on this map makes a lot of sense. You got a Priestess on 2-story. There's actually a really good loop that you can do if you have your portals available. That wastes a lot of time from the hunter. So that makes sense for them to ban the Priestess. We have a Seer ban. And Moonlit River, with this sort of map, I wouldn't be surprised to see, a Wu Chang, one of those longer range sort of map presence characters. Some characters actually some people prefer violinists, anti-rescue strategies, forcing the survivors to really relocate around the map. We're going to really have to see what the survivor, or rather what the hunters are going to choose for this long range sort of big map. But it makes sense to get rid of that Priestess so you don't got to deal with the portal.
Exactly. So we are just waiting here for the hunter to take a pick on the hunter side. I'm not sure if the survivors see the hunter pick as late as we do. So maybe, or no, they don't even see. Dude, I'm a little bit confusion. We are the only ones who see what they are picking.
So typically in tournaments, survivors will select, and then they do know the hunter that they're going against before the so they don't know the hunter before the character selection, but they pick the characters and then the hunters pick right after, and usually survivors know what the hunter is before going in.
So now we're gonna see another Anne right here.
There we go. And this is going to be on Lakeside, and so we're going to see what the position is. We see that this is going to be in a position on Moonlit River. This is what we call 2-story, and this is going to be group 3, and typically they like to either come here or first stop, but typically they like to go towards what we call working carousel, so they don't have to worry about first stop and that roller coaster that can be activated.
Good dodge from the Prisoner right there, avoiding the cats. Anne is going for the Perfumer though. Is there a Perfume coming in? Oh, nice instant Perfume, getting the damage reversed, and now trying to kite around the hunter, trying to give the team more time to decode. We have to stay good. There comes the cat, not hitting the cat. Oh,
There we go. Did she get that hit?
nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice juke.
Well, that might have been purposely done by the Ann, though. She may have purposely juked that to miss it to trigger that perfume. That is a strategy that you see, especially among geishas. You swing to the side at the last second to activate the perfume, and then you wait out the 8 seconds. So I'm not sure if that was intended, but let's see where she's gonna go. She gets it, gets the stun, and gets that first hit on the perfumer.
Good job, good job.
Have they been using the in-game chat? Yeah, they are. I just haven't been paying attention. So we see that one of the Cypher machines is at 77%, and this Ann is going to have to...
Oh, that's a mind game. That is a mind game right there.
That is a mind game.
Teleporting back?
No, she's not going to teleport back. No, she got a good distance on that Ann. One of the things Ann could try to do is put those cats in the bottom of the slide and then try to stun her, but to do that on a perfumer it can be a little difficult. It's a mind game from both players.
All right, there was the prisoner. It might have been a good idea to go for the prisoners and see bring a lot of decoding, but perfumer already took a hit, so Anne really wants to get the perfumer down, get the first survivor on the rocket chair. You can already see the 2 Cypher machines have been decoded. Good job on the survivor side. We can see the prisoner is decoding another Cypher machine, halfway done already. And let's see if Anne just, can catch up right there. Taking the pellet, good stun from the perfumer, really allowing the survivors to decode the Cypher machines. Dungeon is right here as well.
It makes sense that the Anne decided to continue going after the perfumer. She's already injured. She has no more perfumes left. And to relocate on the prisoner would have been very difficult, because now you have to relocate and get 2 additional hits on top of that. And really, that prisoner though, that passive ability to, well, it's an active ability where you put that thing down and now she has to take that down. It gave a lot of time for perfumer to really move forward and move away from Anne, just enough time. And let's see where
missing the cats right there, really trying to get the perfumer. We can see that Anne is still, actually hit the window right there. We can see that Anne is still slowing down every now and then, might be a little bit of a leg spike happening. She is really concentrating on that perfumer. You can see that 1 Cypher machine is getting popped right now. We are down to 1 Cypher machine. Oh, that was a hit with the cat. But can Anne actually make it, destroying the pellet and giving the hit? First survivor down. Cypher machine is not primed yet, which means the perfumer is the first survivor on the rocket chair in this match.
Well, we're not, and one of the things that we're not really seeing too much of is the cats with using the cross or whatever it's called to reposition them. We haven't really seen that being used too much by this Anne yet. So let's see what they can do here. Can they prevent this?
Trying to wait it out. All right, great rescue, taking the hit right there, getting the perfumer off the chair. Not really sure how far the decoding is going on. Taking the hit.
Yeah, they're gonna pop that. That's done.
Yeah. Good job.
They had that. Really... That was a good job from the mercenary as well, because what he did is he absorbed both of those cats. Usually, when you're an Anne, what you try to do is you send those cats out, and then you hit them once. But before you hit them, you bring the cats back so they get stunned for that second hit. But it's difficult to pull that off of a mercenary, because mercenary can at least get hit twice. You'd have to somehow terror shock, and that kind of makes it difficult for you to use your second ability. So good move from the mercenary, absorbing both of those cats though. Yep.
And we can see Anne really trying to track down that survivor, trying to track down the perfumer. What she wants to do is she wants to bring down at least 1 survivor. This is a point game. If they're getting out 4 survivors, they are getting 5 points, and that would be extremely dangerous for the team right here. But bring down the perfumer might actually get 1 survivor out of the game, giving AT only 3 points, making it easier for the next round to, okay, there we go, making it easier for them to, catching up.
It's good that Anne was able to at least secure a 1 kill. You don't want to go into that second round with 5 points against you, so at least getting 1. We talked about that earlier, about how difficult it can be to really secure a 4-man escape, especially in the tournament gameplay here. So you can see 7 pallets destroyed, 6 strikes, and we really see that Gravekeeper. That's a lot of decode, and especially for a character that has a decode and debuff. So more of a passive role from Gravekeeper, but really you have to be able to recognize your role even as a character that may be primarily rescue. So it's good that that Gravekeeper stayed focused, had a lot of confidence within that mercenary to go in for the rescue. It's not atypical to see characters who utilize Gravekeeper and forward and a lot of those stun characters that really after finishing a cipher gets off there to harass, and it actually takes a lot of skill for you to know your position and role and say, although that is something that my character can do, that's not something that I'm going to do this round because they don't need me to do it.
Exactly. And we can also see the Perfumer just having almost one hunter. Bloody Queen, as we predicted, Bloody Queen will be the banned hunter on the Survivor side. We are going to see the Priestess and the Mercenary. Also kind of predictable picks. Priestess can really put down portals and kite around very long. Mercenary, great rescuer. We just saw in the match before, Mercenary is coming through, rescuing the Perfumer. We can see on the Survivor side, it's a Wildling. Oh, we might see the Violinist. That could be interesting. On the Survivor side, it is Wildling, Prisoner, Gravekeeper, and another Survivor that will be revealed in a few seconds.
Violinist, though, this is not, like I said, a lot of Dancer. There we go. Like I said, a lot of hunters are really experimenting with that Violinist. We're seeing more and more hunters trying to utilize that Violinist. Violinist has really good anti-rescue potential, especially if you can get your skill off in time, you cancel the rescue, and you're able to go and follow up with a regular hit, which is actually going to be changing a tiny bit on Wednesday, because even though it gets canceled, you'll immediately be able to hit that button without that little delay. So we got to ask ourselves, what is that anti-rescue going to look like after Wednesday's update? But until then, Violinist has really good anti-rescue strategies and good at anti-chitin strategies. And what we see the Violinist doing here is something very important. Get rid of the Mercenary, because if I kill somebody on one side of the map, you no longer have elbow pads to help you get there, so you already need to be in position, which can sometimes require you to get off your cipher that you spawn at. And also, if you remove Priestess, you don't have to worry about the global portal, which means that you really can focus on trying to double up and get that sort of anti-rescue ability with yours. And also, if they use Seer and use an Owl and you get really good at using your ability, it's going to cancel that out, but we don't see a Seer being utilized currently. So this is a very good selection from Eddie, and we're going to have to see how this works in their favor on Moonlit River in their anti-rescue, anti-chitin strategies.
I couldn't agree more. And you already said it about the patch that is coming on Wednesday. We definitely have to talk about this more as soon as it happens, because that will affect a lot of survivors, a lot of hunters. And we are jumping into the match right here. Tell us a little bit about the spawn.
Yep, so this is called Group 5 Spawn. Usually people like to go towards tent. There's a lot of hiding room over here, but he does have I think he has peepers, which would help him. But if he doesn't go towards tent, then he can go towards what right here we call Cipher Bridge. So that's why a lot of hunters come over here, because you have tent and then you have Cipher Bridge. And it seems like, wow, that Survivor was actually able to hide.
That was sneaky, yeah, but then... Yeah.
Oh, beautiful move. Beautiful ability to utilize that.
Really putting pressure on the Coordinator right here. Coordinator going down, getting hit by the hunter. That was a really nice use of his skill, getting the first hit, and right there we have the Coordinator on the chair.
We'll see who's gonna go in for this rescue. He has that tinnitus activated, so if he puts a peeper down right there, he's gonna be able to see if anyone is at 2-story, which he can probably see with that peeper, which is where that tinnitus is activating, who's waiting for him. Question is when is Coordinator going to utilize that flare gun on the first rescue or second rescue?
Good job not using it and wasting it early game. That was a good call from the Coordinator, we can see the Gravekeeper is coming in for the rescue, was waiting a little bit. So now we can see that Coordinator cannot get on the chair again, because else she would be out of the game. Oh, that's putting pressure on the rescue. Oh, taking that hit right there.
There we go.
Fantastic usage of the skill.
That was that's what we were talking about, that anti-rescue, especially the anti-kite ability that Violinist has, and you know, people have been practicing this and getting better and better at being able to predict those sorts of movements. You know, there's a lot of debate as to whether you should use your flare gun on the first kite. And a lot of coordinators will, because they understand that on a big map like this, that early game kite is so important, so you can have people continue decoding. And Violinist just did a really good job at being able to predict the movements, and was able to predict her movements and follow up with a hit. And let's see what Dancer can do. Dancer gets that boost. Remember when she drops down.
Yeah, trying to shoot the Hunter right here, trying to make her way to the rescue anyway, but already took the first hit, taking the second hit right here, going down. Gravekeeper is halfway on the chair right there, and I don't think that the prisoner is able to actually rescue the Gravekeeper. He said, "Don't move, I'm coming," which probably means that he might go for... Oh, wait. No, he rescued the Gravekeeper right there.
He got the rescue in time. They the best that they can do right now is if they get 3 people to somehow escape, they would tie with the tournament bracket the way that it is. So if one person's eliminated, then we see that Atlas is automatically going to proceed to the next round. Look at that.
Canceling the rescue. Good job.
This Violinist is literally hitting every single, I think almost every one. Yeah, in regards to that skill. Beautiful skill.
There we go. Female Dancer is down. As you already said, they need to get all 3 survivors that are still in the game out of there. As soon as the Dancer hits the rocket chair, though, she will be out of the game, because she was already... Right, she was already over halfway. And... Oh no, she wasn't. And
that was a successful rescue. They did a good job with that. And
Prisoner's getting on the chair for the first time. Gravekeeper is pretty far away, not really sure if he is able to rescue both survivors. Female Dancer is almost out of the game right here. He is concentrating on decoding. It seems like he missed the calibration over there. We can see Eddie just pretty much...
Right now they need to try to focus on the rescues, because even if they open up this over here, they need 3 survivors to escape. So this will be... so this solidifies Atlas moving on to the next round, and let's see how the rest of this match is going to play out for the survivors and Hunter.
You can see that the Gravekeeper is circling around, but the prisoner is the Gravekeeper is not able to rescue the prisoner right here. Eddie trying to find the Gravekeeper. The only chance for the Gravekeeper to actually get out of there is through the dungeon. He still has 1 shovel left. He can still use his ability once. But it seems like Eddie already found him.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult for him to know exactly where that is, because he is the one that finished that last cipher. Well, yeah, to get the 3. So he's taking a gamble, hoping that it's over here. But you know, not much you can do in that sort of situation. We'll see if Violinist can catch up to him.
And there comes the hit. He's trying to get away. The dungeon is not here. He can't go through the dungeon yet. Probably using the skill to slow him down.
Now, shout out to the Gravekeeper, though. He's trying. He really is, and I can appreciate that effort.
Oh, nice. Dodging the ability.
Yeah, is she gonna... Violinist is gonna catch
right
up
there.
Right
Dungeon is right there.
Yeah.
He found the dungeon, but the Hunter was able to catch up enough to actually bring down the Gravekeeper before going through the dungeon, making this most likely a 4 survivor elimination if he's able to bring
I like this
chair,
Gravekeeper though. This Gravekeeper's not surrendering. Like, I'm gonna wiggle all the way until the end of this match. I got respect for that. Gravekeeper, you got my respect for that. You did not give up. You're like, I don't care, I'm gonna try to wiggle out until I'm eliminated. Good for you.
I have to give it to the Violinist. He was really, really great with his skill. He was almost hitting all of his connected music